Good morning. This is Kenneth with the Advancing Equity Coalition here with Heather. How you doing this morning, Heather?
I mean, you know, last night's meeting was frustrating.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely feeling a little frustrated still this morning about it, and we'll get into that. Um, but yeah, just not feeling super energized by what we heard last night. Definitely with the amount of anticipation we had about finally having a conversation on academics. So, if you want to give us a quick rundown of what we heard last night?
Yeah, so really the meeting kind of came down to three parts. We heard a COVID update, we heard an update on our mental health plan and services that we're providing in the district, and then we sort of heard an academic update. And we'll kind of talk about that more.
Yeah. So, there wasn't a ton of there was a ton of questions about our COVID update. We had the opportunity to hear from an epidemiologist from the city of Minneapolis. And then we spent also a good amount of time talking about our mental health update. And so I thought this deserved to be the slide of the night because I thought that was the most information that we got that was new and important for folks to hear. And I think what's really important to acknowledge is that students and families have been really fighting for mental health supports. And so through the pandemic, through COVID, it feels like we're building some serious infrastructure in Minneapolis public schools to provide that support. And so what it looks like is currently 51 schools have a mental health therapist through either a community partner providing that support or some mechanism to allow that support to be given. And they're building towards that support being provided at every school. And 1,000 students and families are being supported right now, which is great. And so it really feels like that infrastructure is being built really well. But yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just thought the thing that I heard new about this was the fact that we were offering mental health support to families and not just students. I just think that really speaks to kind of where we're headed and what we're doing with mental health support in our district. It was really incredible to hear that.
Yeah.
But let's get to the the real issue. So let's talk about the most valuable moment and our do better moment of the night.
So yeah, I can go first. So my most valuable moment was the fact that we are going to get another academic presentation. I think it's very telling that our slide of the night was about mental health support, which again, don't get me wrong, is very, very important. But you know how excited we were about this academic presentation, and to not, it's very, very telling. So I'm very excited that there's going to be another academic presentation in December, and that was announced at the school board meeting last night. And so that'd be my most valuable moment. What about you?
So my most valuable moment went to would be like Director Caprini and Director Inns actually asking about like academic questions and questions kind of framed in the context of like what our district has always been and what our district is now and COVID versus non-COVID. And so for me, it was the fact that they really asked like, so what is going to be different? So what are we doing that is different? The like yes, there is a pandemic, but also we know where our trends fall and we know that we aren't looking at anything new. So I appreciated them asking those hard questions last night.
For sure. Do you want to go first for your do better moment?
Yeah, so my do better moment really came down to, in a lot of ways, the answers that we heard to some questions about academics, which to me, I really felt like all I heard was what we were going to do different for teachers. And it sounded like a very adult centered conversation. What I didn't hear was what students were going to get that was different, that was going to give us something different for academics, for literacy, for math. If I'm a parent of a kindergarten student right now, I have no idea what my student is going to hear that is different, that is going to get us to a different result from the slides that we saw last night, which were alarming.
Yeah. I would say my do better moment was probably the entirety of the meeting. We had a 2.5 hour meeting that was supposed to be about academics. I understand that we're in the middle of a pandemic, so we need a health update. But Yeah, I was just really disappointed, and so I think my do better moment specifically goes to Superintendent Graff. I'm not really sure how he would allow for like the one academic presentation that we generally get a year, and again we're going to get more, so thankful for that. But how he let that be the academic presentation, and it was really disappointing. And I thought that we deserve more, and at this point we need to start demanding more, and really putting Superintendent Graff, or holding Superintendent Graff accountable for like that level of update and presentation being provided to the public around academics. So yeah, so that's my do better moment. And as you can tell, we are clearly upset and frustrated.
Super frustrated. We really were looking forward to this meeting. We've had a lot of good questions. We've heard a lot of good community questions. We know parents have talked about concerns about literacy, and very frustrated.
Yeah. And so if you want to hear more about our frustration and why we gave our do better moments, to who we gave them to, and just to get more context around everything, check out our longer video. But thanks for joining.
Bye.